Hey guys, so I just got back from vacation with my parents on Saturday. Unfortunately, my husband couldn't come with me because something happened with some of his paperwork, so he got barred from taking vacation, so he couldn't go with me. It was just me. And I just got back Saturday, so I thought I'd bring you guys kind of like a vacation haul slash reading update because at this point I'm going to try and use the rest of July to kind of just catch up on what I'm reading right now instead of completely making a whole new TBR for myself because I'm planning on doing a trial run of the Newts in August and I want to just kind of go into that with as clean of a TBR as I possibly can. So first I'm going to give you guys the haul. These are going to be books that I had left at my parents' house and brought home with me, or books that I had bought while I was on vacation, or books that I had gotten right when I got back from McKay's because we took some other books that I brought back from my parents and traded them in at McKay's, and then we got some credit and I got a couple of books and my husband got some things, my brother-in-law got some things while he was here, and so that's going to be the haul portion, and then at the end I'll go over the 6 books that I'm currently in the middle of and I'm going to try to finish by the end of the month. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm going to try. So anyways, to start with the haul, the books that I brought home from my parents and kept, these are old and they're going to look really beat up, and I got these from my aunt when I was a kid and they were her copies and my mom's copies of these books also, and those are the Little House on the Prairie books by Laura Ingalls Wilder. This is the first one called Little House in the Big Wood. Then we have Little House on the Prairie, Farmer Boy, On the Banks of Plum Creek, By the Shores of Silver Lake, The Long Winter, Little Town on the Prairie, These Happy Golden Years, and finally, The First 4 Years. Those are all 9 books. I believe those are the original books. I'm not quite sure. The first one says it was published in 1932. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not quite sure. And my mom had said something about these books getting banned from libraries and schools because there's some form of wording that is racist in the books. So I'm kind of curious to see what that is. And I've been wanting to reread them for a while because they're kind of middle grade level. I mean, the font is fairly large on the pages and it's illustrated. So I've been wanting to give these a reread anyways. So I figured I'd bring them home, have them with me before the move, and then, work on rereading those at some point in the future. The next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books I bought while I was on vacation. The first 4 were from Barnes & Noble. I take that back. 3 of them were from Barnes & Noble. One of them was from Target, and the other 2 are from Entertain Mart, which if you guys had a Hastings, they may have moved into the Hastings spot. That's what they did back where my parents live. If not, then I think another one of their stores is called Vintage Stock, and it's the same company. So anyways, so I got some books from there. The first 3 books I got from Target, or from Barnes & Noble, are all Neil Gaiman books because I've been kind of getting into Neil Gaiman after I re-listened to Norse mythology, and I've got several of his books in ebook format also, so I thought maybe it'd be kind of cool to have the physical books too. So I picked up The Graveyard Book, Coraline, and of course I had to get Norse mythology. This cover is freaking beautiful and it's got deckled edges and it's just really pretty, and it's a nice folded paperback, so it's a little bit harder of a cover than just your standard paperback. And then the book I got from Target, I've been hearing a lot about on BookTube I've heard good things. I haven't really heard very many bad things about it. I do know that the second book is out, and I think there's a novella out for this series already too, so I thought I'd pick the first book up just to see if I could get into it, see if I liked it, and that is Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. The next two I picked up from Entertain Mart, and the first one that I'm going to show you guys I picked up because I already have a copy of Lord of the Rings. It's a really nice leather-bound trilogy bind-up, and I'll show that to you guys whenever I get around to doing a bookshelf tour, probably close to the end of the year or beginning of next year, but you will definitely see it in that bookshelf tour. And I wanted a copy to annotate also, so I figured I'll go look and see if I can find a really cheap copy of each book, and each book was like $5, so I found this for $8 instead and picked this up, so that way I can have an annotatable copy of Lord of the Rings, of the trilogy, and then I can still have my really nice leather-bound Bible thin paper copy in really good shape, just to have, because it's really pretty and I love it. And then the other book that I picked up, I've been in like this really weird reading mood since I DNF'd the Seven Realms series, and like I just can't get into anything and finish it. So instead of picking up another fantasy book to read, I picked up a historical fiction, Sagas of Icelanders. This is the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition, and it is a massive thing. I'm right there. I'm about 180, about 190 pages in, and I like it. It's a nice change. It reads very similar to Norse mythology by Neil Gaiman, but it's more historical. Like, it's the way it's explained in the introduction is that this is more a culmination of family sagas of Norse families, and the first families to settle Norway and Iceland. And I mean, I'm getting into it. I'm still only in the first saga, but like I said, I'm about 190 pages in. It was a nice change of pace for me, and hopefully I will finish that this month, because that is one of the 6 books that I am currently reading. Maybe I'll finish it, maybe I won't. I'm reading it now. It's not really high priority. It's higher priority right now than most of the other books I'm reading, but it's not like I'm gonna finish it definitely this month, because it's massive. Okay, and then the last 2 books I got from McKay's immediately after we got back, and I picked up the first 2 already in this series. Probably already saw me sneak it into my lap. I picked up the first 2 already from the series, and I'm currently reading the first one of this series. You're going to know it as soon as I hold it up. I've been looking for these books to finish this quartet forever, and I already have the first book in his next series on Kindle. So I've been wanting to read this series before I start getting into his new series, and that would be the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. Book 3 is Ruin, and book 4 is Wrath. I got these for $6.50 each, and they are huge and floppy, and they are just freaking amazing. So anyways, hopefully, maybe someday, definitely someday, but probably not before we move, will I get to these, because August is Newt's, and then September we'll be packing, and not a whole lot of time for reading, and October will be PCS leave, and again, not a whole lot of time for reading. And then November we move, so definitely no time for reading, or very little time for reading in that time frame. Okay, so that's all the books that I got from vacation. Now the books that I'm currently reading, I am currently reading 6, and I have 2 of them are physical books. The one I already showed you, Sagas of Icelanders. The other one I just mentioned is the first book in The Faithful and the Fallen, which is Malice. This one I am 180 pages in. Put it down before vacation. Haven't picked it up since. So I may have to restart it. I'm pretty sure I remember what's going on. again, this is kind of low on the totem pole right now. This is probably lower than Sagas of the Icelanders, but it's another book that I'm currently reading and I hope to finish this month. I might not. If I don't, I'm not going to be terribly upset about it. The other 4 books that I'm currently reading, 2 of them are ebooks. One of them is an audiobook, and the other one I have in both ebook and audiobook format because I'm borrowing it through Prime Reading. One of the benefits of Amazon Prime is if you go into the Kindle library, you can borrow certain books with your Prime membership. I don't know if there's like a time limit that you can have them, or if there's a limit to how many books you can borrow at once, like with Kindle Unlimited. But, so I'm borrowing one of those with the audio along with the ebook format. And that one is Woodcutter by Kate Danley. It's kind of like a fairy tale mashup along with like fae and fairies and the Norse gods, and it's just like everything all at once crammed into one book. And I'm just like, I think I'm about 30% of the way through it. I'm listening to it now. I just started listening to it on 1.5 speed, so I'm still trying to get used to that. So that I will probably finish this month because it's an audiobook, and an audiobook I can listen to just whenever. The other audiobook I'm currently listening to is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I talked about that in my last currently reading / July TBR video, so I'm not going to get a whole lot into that. Most of you know Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series, so again, not really a big reason for me to get a whole lot into depth with that book so far. The other 2 ebooks that I'm currently in the middle of are Blades of Magic by Tara Eden and Awakening by Brandon Sanderson, which is the first, I'm going to call it a novella because it's not very long. I think it's only 124 pages. It's the first novella in the Infinity Blade series. Again, those 2, not high priority right now. I will definitely be able to finish the 2 audiobooks that I'm listening to. I will probably then start to pick back up with Awakening because I'm closer to finishing that than I am anything else, and then I will go from there. Those are the plans for the rest of this month. Later, towards the end of the month, I will be posting my Newts TBR, so keep an eye out for that, and I will see you guys in my next video.